Here are 50 of the most commonly asked interview questions related to SAP RICEF, along with detailed answers for SAP interviews. 1. What is SAP RICEF, and why is it significant in SAP implementations? Answer. SAP RICEF stands for Reports, Interfaces, Conversions, Enhancements, Forms, and Workflows. These are key elements in SAP implementations that help tailor the system to meet specific business requirements. RICEF objects are essential for customizing SAP systems to align with organizational processes, making them crucial for successful SAP projects. 2. Can you explain each component of RICEF in detail? Answer. A. Reports. SAP reports provide users with data analysis and presentation capabilities tailored to their specific needs. B. Interfaces. Interfaces enable data exchange between SAP systems and external systems or between different SAP modules. C. Conversions. Conversions involve migrating data from legacy systems into SAP, or transforming data from one format to another within SAP. D. Enhancements. Enhancements are customizations made to standard SAP functionality to extend or modify its behavior to better suit business requirements. E. Forms. Forms are used to design and customize documents such as invoices, purchase orders, or delivery notes to meet organizational branding and layout preferences. F. Workflows. Workflows automate business processes by defining a sequence of tasks and actions that need to be performed based on predefined rules and conditions. 3. How do you determine whether a requirement falls under reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, or workflows? Answer. Determining the classification of a requirement depends on its nature and functionality. Reports are used for data analysis and presentation. Interfaces facilitate data exchange. Conversions involve data migration or transformation. Enhancements extend SAP functionality. Forms customize document layouts, and workflows automate business processes. 4. What are some common challenges faced when developing RICEF objects in SAP projects? Answer. Common challenges include understanding complex business requirements, ensuring seamless integration with existing systems, managing data consistency and integrity, addressing performance issues, and maintaining compatibility with future SAP upgrades or releases. 5. Can you discuss the difference between a report and an enhancement in SAP? Answer. Reports in SAP are used for data analysis and presentation, providing users with formatted output based on specific selection criteria. Enhancements, on the other hand, modify or extend standard SAP functionality to meet unique business requirements, such as adding custom fields or implementing new business logic. 6. How do you approach the design and development of SAP interfaces? Answer. Designing and developing SAP interfaces involves understanding data exchange requirements, mapping data fields between source and target systems, determining communication protocols, and implementing error handling mechanisms to ensure data integrity and consistency across systems. 7. What is the purpose of a conversion program in SAP, and how do you develop one? Answer. Conversion programs in SAP are used to migrate data from legacy systems into SAP, or to transform data from one format to another within SAP. Developing a conversion program involves extracting data from the source system, performing data validation and cleansing, mapping data fields to SAP structures, and loading data into SAP using SAP-provided tools or custom ABAP code. 8. How do you ensure data consistency and integrity during SAP data conversion activities? Answer. Ensuring data consistency and integrity involves thorough data validation, cleansing, and reconciliation processes. This includes verifying data accuracy, completeness, and adherence to predefined data quality standards before and after data conversion activities. 9. Can you explain the different types of enhancements available in SAP? Answer. A. User exits. Predefined hooks within SAP programs where custom ABAP code can be inserted to enhance standard functionality. B. BADIS business add-ins. Modular enhancements that allow developers to add custom functionality to SAP applications without modifying standard code. C. Customer exits. Custom enhancements provided by SAP that allow for modifications to standard SAP functionality using specific predefined techniques. 10. How do you ensure that SAP enhancements are future-proof and maintainable? Answer. Ensuring future-proof and maintainable enhancements involves following best practices such as using standard SAP extension techniques like BADIS and user exits, documenting all customizations thoroughly, and minimizing modifications to standard SAP objects to ease the adoption of future upgrades and releases. 11. What are some key considerations when designing SAP forms? Answer. Key considerations include understanding user requirements for document layout and content, ensuring compliance with organizational branding guidelines, optimizing form performance, and designing for compatibility with different output formats and devices. 12. How do you design and implement SAP workflows to automate business processes? Answer. Designing and implementing SAP workflows involves defining the sequence of tasks and approvals required for a specific business process, configuring workflow templates, setting up workflow rules and conditions, and integrating with relevant SAP modules and external systems as needed. 13. Can you explain the significance of testing RICEF objects in SAP projects? Answer. Testing RICEF objects in SAP projects is crucial to ensure that customizations and enhancements meet business requirements, function as intended, and integrate seamlessly with existing SAP functionality. Thorough testing helps identify and resolve defects early in the development lifecycle, reducing the risk of issues in production environments. 14. How do you approach testing for reports in SAP projects? Answer. Testing reports in SAP involves verifying data accuracy, layout consistency, and performance against predefined requirements. Test cases should cover various scenarios, including different input parameters, data volumes, and output formats, to ensure comprehensive validation of report functionality. 15. What strategies do you employ for testing SAP interfaces? Answer. Strategies for testing SAP interfaces include validating data exchange between source and target systems, verifying data transformation and mapping rules, testing error handling and exception scenarios, and conducting end-to-end integration testing to ensure seamless communication between systems. 16. What are some common tools and technologies used for developing reports in SAP? Answer. Common tools and technologies for developing reports in SAP include SAP Business Explorer BEX, Analyzer, SAP Crystal Reports, SAP Query, and SAP Business Objects Web Intelligence. 17. How do you handle data extraction and transformation in SAP conversions? Answer. Data extraction and transformation in SAP conversions involve extracting data from the source system, mapping data fields to SAP structures, performing data cleansing and validation, and transforming data formats as needed before loading it into SAP. 18. Can you explain the difference between a body and an enhancement spot in SAP enhancements? Answer. BADIS business add-ins are modular enhancements that allow developers to add custom functionality to SAP applications without modifying standard code, whereas enhancement spots are predefined enhancement points within SAP programs, where custom code can be inserted to enhance standard functionality. 19. How do you integrate SAP forms with SAP workflows to automate document approval processes? Answer. Integrating SAP forms with SAP workflows involves designing form templates with workflow triggers and approvals, defining workflow rules and conditions based on form data, and configuring workflow steps to route forms to the appropriate users for review and approval. 20. What is the role of LUSM Legacy System Migration Workbench in SAP data conversions? Answer: LUSM is a tool provided by SAP for migrating data from legacy systems into SAP. It simplifies the process of data migration by providing predefined data migration templates, data mapping tools, and data conversion rules to facilitate the migration process. 21. How do you ensure regulatory compliance when designing SAP forms for legal documents? Answer: ensuring regulatory compliance when designing SAP forms involves understanding relevant regulatory requirements, incorporating required legal disclaimers and disclosures into form templates, and validating form layouts against regulatory standards to ensure accuracy and completeness. 22. What are some key considerations for optimizing SAP workflows for performance and scalability? Answer: key considerations include minimizing workflow complexity, optimizing workflow design for efficient task routing and assignment, implementing caching mechanisms for frequently accessed data, and monitoring workflow performance metrics to identify and address bottlenecks. 23. How do you handle version control and change management for SAP RICEF objects? Answer: version control and change management for SAP RICEF objects involve using versioning tools such as SAP Solution Manager or third-party version control systems to track changes, manage development branches, and coordinate releases across different environments. 24. Can you discuss the role of transport requests in deploying SAP RICEF objects between systems? Answer: transport requests in SAP are used to bundle and transport RICEF objects reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and workflows from development to testing and production environments. They ensure consistency and integrity of customizations across different SAP systems. 25. What are some best practices for documenting SAP RICEF objects? Answer: best practices for documenting SAP RICEF objects include maintaining detailed design documents, technical specifications, test plans, and user manuals for each object, using standardized templates and naming conventions, and documenting any customizations or enhancements made to standard SAP functionality. 26. How do you ensure data security and privacy when developing SAP interfaces? Answer: ensuring data security and privacy in SAP interfaces involves implementing encryption and authentication mechanisms for data transmission, restricting access to sensitive data based on user roles and permissions, and complying with data protection regulations such as GDPR or HIPAA. 27. Can you explain the role of BAPIS business application programming interfaces in SAP interfaces? Answer: BAPIS are standardized interfaces provided by SAP that allow external applications to access and manipulate SAP business objects and data. They provide a consistent and secure way for external systems to interact with SAP functionality, such as creating or updating business transactions. 28. How do you handle error handling and logging in SAP RICEF objects? Answer: error handling and logging in SAP RICEF objects involve implementing robust error handling mechanisms to capture and log errors, exceptions, and warning messages during object execution. This includes providing informative error messages, logging error details to system logs or databases, and implementing retry and recovery strategies for critical processes. 29. What strategies do you employ for performance tuning in SAP reports? Answer: strategies for performance tuning in SAP reports include optimizing database queries, reducing data volume by implementing selective data retrieval techniques, leveraging caching mechanisms for frequently accessed data, and minimizing unnecessary data processing and calculations. 30. How do you manage dependencies between SAP RICEF objects in complex SAP projects? Answer: managing dependencies between SAP RICEF objects involves identifying and documenting inter-object dependencies, Establishing communication channels between development teams working on dependent objects, and coordinating development and testing activities to ensure consistent integration and functionality. 31. Can you explain the role of a functional specification document in SAP RICEF development? Answer. A functional specification document in SAP RICEF development defines the functional requirements, business rules, and user interface design for each RICEF object. It serves as a blueprint for developers and testers, guiding the implementation and validation of customizations and enhancements. 32. How do you ensure cross-browser compatibility for SAP Forms and web-based RICEF objects? Answer. Ensuring cross-browser compatibility involves testing RICEF objects on different web browsers and devices to identify and resolve any layout or functionality issues. Using responsive design techniques and browser compatibility testing tools can help ensure a consistent user experience across all platforms. 33. What role does user training play in the successful implementation of SAP RICEF objects? Answer. User training is crucial for ensuring user adoption and proficiency with SAP RICEF objects. It familiarizes users with new processes, interfaces, and functionalities, reducing resistance to change and maximizing the benefits of SAP implementations. 34. How do you ensure data accuracy and integrity during SAP data conversions? Answer. Ensuring data accuracy and integrity involves implementing data validation and cleansing routines, performing data reconciliation checks between source and target systems, and validating data migration results against predefined acceptance criteria. 35. Can you discuss the role of ABAP programming in developing SAP RICEF objects? Answer. ABAP Advanced Business Application Programming is the primary programming language used for developing SAP RICEF objects. ABAP developers write custom code to implement reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and workflows, leveraging SAP-provided APIs and development tools to extend and customize standard SAP functionality. 36. What role does functional testing play in SAP RICEF development? Answer. Functional testing in SAP RICEF development verifies that the customizations and enhancements meet the specified functional requirements. It ensures that reports generate accurate data, interfaces exchange data correctly, conversions migrate data accurately, enhancements enhance standard functionality as expected, forms produce desired outputs, and workflows automate business processes effectively. 37. How do you approach regression testing for SAP RICEF objects? Answer. Regression testing for SAP RICEF objects involves retesting previously validated functionalities after changes or enhancements are made to the system. It ensures that existing functionalities remain intact and unaffected by new developments. Regression test cases are designed to cover critical business processes and scenarios to identify any unintended side effects of changes. 38. Can you explain the concept of transport requests in SAP development and deployment? Answer. Transport requests in SAP are containers that bundle development objects such as reports, interfaces, enhancements, etc. together for moving them from one system landscape to another, for example, development to testing to production. They ensure consistency and integrity of customizations across different SAP environments, and provide a controlled mechanism for deploying changes. 39. How do you approach unit testing for SAP enhancements? Answer. Unit testing for SAP enhancements involves testing individual enhancement components in isolation to ensure they meet the specified requirements. This includes testing custom ABAP code, user exits, or BATIS using sample data to validate functionality, input or output parameters, and error handling logic. 40. What is the purpose of key user training in SAP projects, particularly related to RICEF objects? Answer. Key user training in SAP projects familiarizes end users with RICEF objects and their functionality, enabling them to effectively use and validate the customizations and enhancements in their day-to-day activities. It empowers key users to provide feedback, identify issues, and participate in user acceptance testing (UAT) to ensure the system meets business requirements. 41. How do you approach data mapping and transformation in SAP interfaces? Answer. Data mapping and transformation in SAP interfaces involve defining mapping rules to match fields between source and target systems, applying conversion routines to transform data formats or values as needed, and validating data integrity during the transfer process to ensure accurate and reliable data exchange. 42. Can you discuss the role of middleware in SAP interface development? Answer. Middleware acts as a bridge between SAP and external systems, facilitating data exchange and communication between disparate systems. It provides message transformation, routing, and queuing capabilities to ensure seamless integration and interoperability between SAP and non-SAP applications. 43. How do you ensure compliance with SAP development standards and best practices? Answer. Ensuring compliance with SAP development standards and best practices involves following guidelines and recommendations provided by SAP, adhering to coding conventions and naming conventions, documenting customizations and enhancements thoroughly, and conducting code reviews and quality checks to maintain code consistency and readability. 44. What are the different types of SAP forms, and when would you use each type? Answer. Different types of SAP forms include Smart Forms, SAP Script, and Adobe Forms. Smart Forms are used for designing complex and interactive forms with dynamic content. SAP Script is a legacy form technology primarily used for simple, static forms. Adobe Forms provide advanced design capabilities and integration with Adobe Acrobat for creating professional-looking electronic forms. 45. How do you handle exception handling and error recovery in SAP conversions? Answer. Exception handling and error recovery in SAP conversions involve implementing error detection mechanisms to identify data anomalies or inconsistencies, logging error details for analysis and troubleshooting, and implementing recovery procedures to address errors and ensure data integrity during the conversion process. 46. Can you explain the difference between synchronous and asynchronous workflows in SAP? Answer. Synchronous workflows execute immediately upon trigger and wait for completion before proceeding to the next step. Asynchronous workflows trigger a separate background process and continue processing without waiting for completion, allowing for parallel execution of tasks and improved performance for long-running processes. 47. What role does ABAP debugging play in troubleshooting SAP RICEF objects? Answer. ABAP debugging allows developers to step through custom ABAP code line by line, inspecting variable values and program flow to identify and troubleshoot issues in SAP RICEF objects. It is a valuable tool for diagnosing and resolving programming errors, logic flaws, or data inconsistencies during development and testing. 48. How do you ensure usability and accessibility in SAP forms and interfaces? Answer. Ensuring usability and accessibility involves designing user-friendly interfaces with intuitive navigation, clear labeling, and consistent layout. It also includes providing accessibility features such as keyboard navigation, screen reader compatibility, and support for assistive technologies to accommodate users with disabilities. 49. Can you discuss the role of ABAP dictionary in SAP development and customization? Answer. ABAP dictionary is a central repository in SAP for defining and managing data structures such as tables, views, and data elements used in SAP applications. It provides a standardized way to define and maintain data definitions, ensuring consistency and integrity of data across the SAP landscape. 50. How do you ensure scalability and performance optimization for SAP reports? Answer: ensuring scalability and performance optimization for SAP reports involves designing efficient database queries, optimizing data retrieval and processing, implementing caching mechanisms for frequently accessed data, and partitioning large datasets to improve query performance and response times. In a conclusion, the 50 questions and answers provide a comprehensive exploration of the SAP RICEF domain, covering key areas such as development, testing, implementation, and maintenance of reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and workflows. They delve into best practices, methodologies, and technical skills required to effectively manage and execute SAP RICEF components. These questions and answers highlight the importance of understanding SAP standards, testing strategies, and integration techniques, ensuring that candidates and practitioners are well equipped to handle complex SAP scenarios and contribute to successful SAP implementations. For more exciting tips, tricks, and more importantly for valuable insights of interviews, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. It has a lot of valuable information about various insights of interviews. It has a wide range of real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for interviews, and it has wide range of most asked interview questions and answers of various technologies like data science, SAP, AWS, DevOps, and full-stack web development and more that will be useful during interviews. It has a wide range of most asked interview questions and answers and real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for freshers, for 2 to 3 years experienced candidates, and for 5 or above years experienced candidates to test their skills by knowing most asked interview questions and make themselves ready for interviews.